How to love in a Sizeist environment. That is where your dress size or pant size is either high or low, too high or too low for somebody's taste. And generally, people who are skinny, and I mean skinny in the strictest skinny sense, meaning they're skinny to everybody and they're skinny to themselves, meaning they're too small. Um, they might get, and I don't know what kind, I don't know their lives, I just know that people who are overweight, oversized, whatever that means in whatever culture you live in, or underweight or undersized, and depending on your culture, um, people who don't quite fit the norm. I guess that's one area where everybody wants to be normal. Everybody wants to fit the mode, if you will. And so, but what about the person who's experiencing that, who is being shamed and who is being ridiculed for their size, whatever it is? What do you think is going on with them? And you always have to make sense of what's happening in people's lives, that they are maybe overweight tremendously or underweight tremendously. You have to wonder what's going on. But I think too often, before we even ask questions or even find out the story behind that weight or size, we basically give people a hard time. And so, how to love, as in any climate, is the same. It just depends on in what is called for, the kind of love that's called for. And really, many times it's difficult to know how to respond if you want to try to be sensitive. And then again, why would you be doing that if there was nothing, if you didn't deem something wrong, over or underweight, if you didn't think there was some reason to be sensitive, why would you be being sensitive? And so it's just another one of those things that it's hard to know where you're coming from and what's going on with the other person. And so then you don't say anything. And I should say, you don't say anything with your lips, and sound doesn't come out of your mouth, but your expression, your eyes, your body language says it all. How do we begin to love people right where they are, no matter what size they are, 0 or 20, 25, whatever? I upped it because for some people that is not big. And so I guess I can only, just like with the rest of these how to love in these climates, I have to speak to myself. I remember growing up in my home, and I remember when my mother started to pay attention to her weight and change her diet. And that wasn't a bad thing. And I didn't think it was a bad thing, but it did signal to me that I should pay attention to my weight and my size. And yeah, so I guess we live in a culture that values certain things, and size is one of them. And so, how then do we give the right messages to our young people about what they eat and what they should not eat, and what is when you're pushing the envelope on your health? Either way, there's this push to be small has people eating and purging, throwing up their food so they don't gain weight. And then, of course, then you have people who are overeating, eating more than what they really need um, to to live, and then they are overweight, grossly overweight, for them, for their size. Because when I think about size, I've never been a small, never. I was always medium something, because my structure is not small. So I guess we all have to understand who we are and what our structure can handle. And then we have to be sensitive to people, because we don't know why they're eating or not eating. So how to love is to learn how to be considerate, is to learn how to give people stories and explanations for their lives. And that's only, not to them, but for us. That is only for us then to realize that some things we need to keep to ourselves. And we need to figure out how who we are is making it so difficult for somebody else to just be who they are, whatever that is. I hope that makes sense to you. It should make sense to me, because I am admittedly a Sizeist. But let me just set the record straight and say I really don't care about how much you weigh or how little you weigh. There's nothing I can do about that. I care about how much I weigh and how little I weigh, because I can do something about that. This is spoken as a vain Sizeist. So next time, you just find yourself in this. How you loving?